if we're talking about recent events, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, the Bondi Beach shooting, like which one do you think has the most likely hallmarks of a Gladio-style
It's hard to say
subterfuge?
because I mean, so many in the situation of Gladio, if I recall, you don't really get the impression that they're sort of patsies. These are more so like trained
Okay,
killers who could do a situation, and they could presumably use a patsy, obviously, if they're trained. But
they don't fail.
yeah, it wouldn't be that sort of sloppy. It's some guy just running in and like falling over and trying to get in there. So like
Yeah,
that one,
amateurs, man.
yeah, exactly. Now, granted, if you did use a pat, for example, when I interviewed Sammy the Bull about when the first time they tried to take Trump out, his theory was that you could have a problem with patsies, right? So if you had a patsy that you wanted to pin everything on, he said what you would do is you would have a professional person do the actual shot, and then you would have the patsy take the blame, right? So he's lied to and told to be over here in this position and do this, but he's not even the one that's actually doing it. He just gets the blame. So,
The Tyler Robinson
exactly. That's yeah,
model. Yeah. Although I will give boomers this credit. I spoke to someone in like the weekend after Charlie Kirk's assassination, and this person was a boomer, and they're like, someone radicalized the kid. Like the kid is not,
Oh yeah.
it's not what we think it is. And I hadn't even made that leap yet. So, let's not like make grand
Well, again,
generalizations about boomers.
remember again back to the, and I'm not saying that we know that the SPLC was these, but that's a model example, just like with the relationship that Timothy McVeigh had to Elohim City, which was a cutout, fake thing, which was a Christian identity cult that was very radical and extreme, but it was funded and used to kind of have this honeypot situation, and eventually they used McVeigh. I think McVeigh was kind of a patsy in that situation, but same situation with these types of operations is that you could have a lot of different ways you could do it. But yeah, I think that the professional hit would not be this sloppy and unsuccessful. And they also have these little groups, and they'll use Discord and all kinds of things like that to foment these people. And it's come out many times that federal informants and provocateurs are running and aiding and watching a lot of these sort of radical Discord network groups. So I think that there's a lot of possibilities with what could have happened. I don't typically believe, the so-called official story, but I also don't know exactly what happened. So again, the template is pretty consistent with the story of a lone wolf or a lone nut shooter. And then we find all these details that don't match that, right? And then that ends up being, I think, what causes people to question, and that in many cases it's a legitimate question. It's not a lone wolf shooter.